Family, I just wanted to give a quick reaction to this Adesanya Whittaker fight that happened last night. Tremendous fight. I have to say, I didn't know what to expect going into it because Whittaker, if you look at his wars with Romero, he's as tough as they come, super solid, just a guy who's like textbook martial artist across the board. And, you know, Izzy obviously super talented. He had his war with Gastelum, proved that he could take a punishment. So, you know, this was another great test for Adesanya. And obviously Whittaker coming back from the hernia surgery, we didn't know how he would look going into it, but so I didn't know who was going to win the fight. We didn't do it. We don't really cover as much UFC on our shows anymore, so I didn't really have a reason to have a prediction. And as a fight fan, it's just one of those things where I'm just looking forward to the fight. I can tell you what though, I definitely did not expect. Spoiler alert! Stop watching this video immediately if you haven't seen the fight and you want to catch up on it for yourself. Give you a 3, 2, 1 count to get out of here. 3, 2, 1. Okay. I did not expect Adesanya to knock the hell out of Whittaker. And so let's get into it. So they had good game plans going in, right? Like you know, Whittaker, it makes sense for Whittaker. Adesanya is not known for like sheer knockout power. He's an excellent striker, but his stuff comes more from accuracy than just from flattening dudes. And you know, so Whittaker wanted to move in with a full head of steam, make Adesanya feel his power. He's great at combos, great at making people uncomfortable in those spaces, and Whittaker can take punishment. So, you know, if you look at the Gastelum fight, Gastelum took some punishment, but he withstood it the whole time. So if Whittaker's trusting his power, he's trusting his offense, and he's willing to go in there. Adesanya, you know, very heady fighter. He's a guy who likes to study. And he knew what Whittaker was doing, and he was obviously going to use his range, but he didn't. And this is why Whittaker's game plan made sense. It obviously didn't work out, but he wasn't going to sit out there on the outside and be super patient and let Adesanya snipe him down, right? So that makes a lot of sense. The reason it didn't work out is because Adesanya is not just a tall guy looking to throw long punches and kicks and wear you down slowly. You know, he wants to expose your weaknesses and capitalize on the fight in any way he can. And he seems so well aware of the spacing that Whittaker provides with his attacks. He's so aware of the right hand. And the thing that was remarkable to me and why I think Izzy really won, it wasn't just that he straight up counterpunched. It wasn't that he just outstruck him. It wasn't just that he feinted. It was the way he rolled with the punishment, and I think after that Gastelum fight, Izzy just wasn't at all afraid to spend some of his own hurt and ability to withstand a blow or two in order to cash in on knocking Whittaker out and capitalize on those weaknesses that Whittaker exposed. And I mean, Izzy's accuracy, his toughness, it just shows that the one thing he said in one of his press conferences recently was how much he shows up to work and how he was going to take a break because he deserved a break because he fought at the drop of a hat every time he was asked to. And he kind of threw some shade at guys who didn't do that. And the funny thing about that though is you can really see the benefit of him fighting so often, because if you watch the sport you can see him carry these experiences with him. I feel like 3 or 4 fights ago a lot of people thought, well, when he gets taken down this is going to happen, when he really gets hit that's going to happen. But now that he's been through those things, those things clearly aren't true anymore. And it's not that Izzy's unstoppable or unbeatable. I don't think he is to the talent level that John is, as great as Izzy is, and he's truly great. But it's just awesome to see a fighter gain this experience and then use this experience and grow before our very eyes, which brings me over to Chael Sonnen and Conor McGregor. Chael Sonnen did not name Conor McGregor in his recent video covering this fight, but I personally feel like he was either consciously or subconsciously sneak dissing Conor McGregor with the way he praised Adesanya. I encourage everybody to go watch that video. I enjoy Chael's content, but even if you don't, it's good to watch his insight on this. And he basically was talking about how Izzy's a superstar because he was able to nail all 3 elements of the fight game, which was you have 3 opportunities to entertain when you walk out, the fight itself, and then the post-fight interview. And that Israel nailed all 3. Nothing major there. But the way he talked about Israel as a star, he called him the face of the sport. And it's no secret that Conor has been the face of the sport for a little while now. He also talked about, he basically said what the face of the sport is really supposed to do is move the division forward by fighting and taking on opponents. And if you're in MMA circles, you know that Conor McGregor, people have been very frustrated, not just with Conor McGregor not fighting enough, but the fact that Conor McGregor gets special treatment from, you know, the UFC brass, at least in the minds of MMA fans, that he gets away with things that nobody else would get away with. When he's not even fighting, he's not even doing his job. And so for Conor to highlight that aspect and specifically describe Izzy in the way that people would usually describe Conor, while also highlighting the ways that Izzy's different than Conor, and the fact that Izzy is, you know, super active in the ring, I kind of thought Chael would sneak this in Conor McGregor. Again, either consciously or subconsciously, but you guys watch that video and let me know what you all think. But I do think it's interesting because Conor's lack of activity, I think, has hurt him as a fighter. This growth that Izzy had would not happen if he fought as infrequently as Conor. And if you look at how talented Conor actually is, it's crazy to me that we're thinking about Conor and Diaz and not thinking of a rematch with Khabib, because anybody who watched the Khabib fight and is a fan of the sport is just kind of like, I don't need to see that again, right? Khabib has his number. I mean, at least most people I've seen break it down. That's definitely how I feel. Not saying it's 100% true. Conor's a martial artist. I'm sure he can figure out something and make an attempt to change his game plan. But I think if Conor fought as often as Izzy, even if he lost to Khabib, we wouldn't have that same feeling of, oh, he just has no answers for this. We would think, okay, Khabib got you this time, let's see what you do next time, let's run it back. But that interest isn't really there to actually see what Conor would do because of his lack of activity. And I think Chael was highlighting that lack of activity, and I think the abundance of activity that Izzy's had has resulted in him being the kind of champion that many people did not think that he would be because of his, style bending and his stand-up approach. He was lanky. He, didn't look super strong. People thought that maybe he was a little gimmicky, and now it's clear he's anything but. He looked in tremendous shape. He looked super strong, and I mean, even a guy like me who really respected Izzy's ability, I was still surprised that he would knock Gastelum out basically twice, right? If the first round was 15 seconds longer, he might have finished him in the first round, but he knocked him out. I mean, knocked him down right at the bell, and then finished the job really with the same thing, basically counter-punching, rolling with Whittaker's attacks, and catching him on the way out. Tremendous fight by Adesanya. And I mean, shout outs to Whittaker. He had a good game plan. A lot of people saying he didn't look good. I thought he looked fine. Obviously, coming off of surgery, he's not going to look as good as if he just came off of a fight straight up. But I don't think he's the reason that he lost. I think Israel's the reason. He got beat. He didn't lose. So, all right, guys, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you all thought of this fight, and if you enjoy this kind of reaction video to these kinds of things, because UFC happens on these weird weekend hours, so they're not going to be able to cover it on the At Me Bro show, and we don't really do gameplay of the game. So let me know if you enjoy this content. Thank you for watching, and peace.